Hello, I'm Alistair Stevenson, reporting for v3.co.uk, and today I'm reviewing the HTC One. Now, the HTC One is an interesting device, as it's HTC's new current flagship smartphone, and it's designed to take on the likes of the Galaxy S4 and, of course, the next Apple iPhone. Visually, it's a very nice device, and you'll notice it looks very different from previous One series handsets, featuring a much harder line design that makes it look a little bit like a cross between an iPhone 5 and an old HTC One X. Keeping up the tradition of the HTC's relationship with metal, it actually has an aluminium finish, which feels really high-end, and as you can see on the silver model, looks very nice. Our one concern with it is that, as you can see from here, it is a little bit prone to picking up marks, even when just tapped slightly. This means that those wanting to keep it in pristine condition will likely have to invest in a case. However, in terms of measurements and in hand, it's very nice. Measuring at 137 by 68 by 9.3mm, the HTC One is a slim and fairly pretty looking device. Also, despite being made of metal, it only weighs 143 grams. Now this makes it heavier than the likes of the Galaxy S4, Galaxy S3 and current iPhone, but still, we didn't find it an issue, and think that in terms of build quality, it feels a lot more solid than all of those handsets. Turning the device on, you'll actually see immediately it has a great screen. HTC's packed it with a 4.7-inch, 469 pixel per inch display, which when viewed directly, we think is unparalleled in the market, even though it doesn't have any custom technology like Nokia's Clear Black or Apple's Retina display. Additionally, we've noticed it has some very good viewing angles, especially when compared to other competing smartphones, like for example the Sony Xperia Z, which we found was fairly prone to picking up glare. But past this, the device is actually powered by a 1.7 GHz Qualcomm Snapdragon processor, features 2 GB of RAM. This means that we've found it to be one of the fastest devices we've ever used. It deals with all power-hungry apps, navigates menus seamlessly thanks in part to the Android Jelly Bean Project Butter code, and basically is super fast, so much to the point so that we would say, if anything, it's overkill, and there's no real need for these specs on a smartphone at the moment, but at least it future-proofs it. Now in terms of storage, it's not upgradable. The device isn't unibody, but doesn't have a removable back. This means at the moment there's only a 32 gig model available in the UK, though a 64 gig is announced and we're hoping to see it fairly soon. One of the most interesting parts, however, is the camera. Since the arrival of the 808 PureView by Nokia last year, camera technology has been the hot topic in the smartphone industry. Looking to weigh in on this, HTC's loaded the HTC One with a fairly interesting ultra-pixel technology on its camera. This means that despite being 4 megapixels, HTC claims it will be able to beat most competing 8 megapixel competitors' cameras. Now, the reason it does this is that ultra-pixel technology, this isn't the change to megapixels, the actual pixel count is the same, are basically larger than standard pixels. This means that they can actually capture more light and also reduces the amount of data that the smartphone needs to capture, meaning you can take, for example, photos quicker and apply filters and share the photos taken to Facebook. We've actually used the camera quite extensively over the last week, and we have to say there is some truth to HTC's claims. Photos taken on the One do generally look brilliant when looked at on the screen. The colour balance is great, and brightness levels are really good when taken in standard light. However, we have noticed some issues in low light performance. While it does look better than some cameras, especially the Galaxy S3 and iPhone 5, low light performance still isn't great, and the images do still come out grainy. Additionally, thanks to the low megapixel count, we've also found that when taken and blown up on larger screens, images do look blurry when zoomed in on. This means that if you're looking to use the photos and actually blow them up and have hard copies, or use them as, say, the back of a Facebook banner or put on your blog, it's not really as good as things like the Lumia 920 or at current King of the Hill, the 808 PureView. One other slight issue we've had with the HTC One is its battery. Now the battery is better than on previous One handsets. However, with consistent use we've generally found that the battery can struggle to last a full day, especially if you're using Maps, YouTube and other 3G or 4G features quite extensively. That said, we still are completely enamoured with the device and would say it's one of the best looking Android phones out there. The only other thing that we've actually think that's fairly notable is of course Blink Feed. Now Blink Feed is a news collation service. It takes together all the things you have on your Facebook and lets you add a few custom news outlets and then brings in this dynamic push update display. While this is actually the native home screen, though you can change this as we have, so it looks more like a normal Android Jelly Bean. However, Blink Feed, while some might find it annoying, is fairly nice and reminds a little bit of the People Hub and Me Hub seen on Windows Phone, generally pushing in articles and stories that we're actually interested in. And to be honest, we have found ourselves checking it on the commute in and out of work just to keep apprised of what's going on while away from our computer. Other changes are more consumer focused, like its custom Zoe camera software. Zoe camera software is fairly interesting, but not so much to a business user. It can be activated by just clicking here when the camera app comes on. And once on, basically means that you can do things like capture multiple images while shooting video. It does this by automatically shooting 3 burst shots while you're doing video with Zoe on, meaning that even when you're recording video, you'll never miss a shot for a still if you want it later. The only other feature is HTC Share, or Zoe Share. Now this really isn't much use to businesses, but is fairly fun if you get a chance to use it. Zoe Share takes video and images that you've taken and uploaded to the HTC's cloud and automatically turns them into montages. This means that you can get a quick fun looking montage and upload it to Facebook or of your company retreat whenever you like. While it won't win over serious filmmakers, it is fairly useful and a fairly entertaining service. Overall, we would say at the moment the HTC One is the best Android smartphone on the market, though this could change come the release of Samsung's Galaxy S4 in the coming weeks. I'm Alistair Stevenson, thanks for watching.